Hello and welcome to Vermont Craft Beer Night. This is Meet the Brewer, where we introduce you to people that have helped put Vermont craft brew on the map. With me is J.P. Williams from the Trapp Lager Brewery, and the tandem of Jamie Griffith and Alan Van Anda from Lost Nation up in Morrisville, Vermont. Our very own Neil Hilt went to Morrisville to visit their brewery. Jamie and I started Lost Nation Brewing in October of 2012. We moved into our 5,000 square foot production facility. We built a tap room, we fully renovated the space, and we shipped our first batch of beer in May of 2013.
We're doing 20-barrel batches. We have the capacity in this building to produce about 4,000 barrels. We believe under that we can keep a certain quality, a certain taste, and a certain feel about the beer. Not to say that bigger breweries don't make quality beer, we just find that small batch beer is more honest than just, we can always have our hands in it, and that's a really big, important part to me and Alan, is that we are always part of the labor, we're always part of the thinking and developing of what Lost Nation is.
We started this brewery to make something good, to have something for our family and the community, but we also need jobs, and we don't want to work ourselves out of a job, you know, and I think that sometimes happens as businesses grow, and it's very important to us to remain brewing beer and here every day.
Although Alan and Jamie have been partners at Lost Nation for only a few years, they've known each other for nearly 2 decades, working together at Vermont Soy, making tofu and soy milk, as well as working at other local breweries.
Through the years that we spent, you know, really in the trenches, sweating it out in other people's small businesses, you get to know a lot about another person.
We talk a lot, like crazy. Communication, that's how we work best together.
One person doesn't know everything, and I can't say enough how much I appreciate having another person that I trust with my life to be able to have as a sounding board. You know, the decisions that have to be made and the major decisions that have ripple effects for years to come, to be able to have 2 people to make that decision, it's invaluable.
One of the first decisions made was to develop European-style session beers, easy drinking brews with less than 6% alcohol.
We developed a couple of beers that aren't particularly styles, they're blends of styles together. Approachability is a big thing that we have, so that anyone can drink our beers and not be taken aback.
So we have 6 beers that we produce year-round, and we believe that we cover really every sort of flavor gamut with those beers.
From their German-style wheat beer Gosa to their pitch black ale, the spectrum of flavors are as diverse as the colors. The majority of Lost Nation's business is supplying kegs to restaurants and bars, but their tap room and beer garden are fast becoming a destination spot for local beer enthusiasts.
I personally like the rustic. It's my favorite.
I'm a Gosa girl. I love the Gosa, but today I'm drinking Pilsner.
An additional piece to the puzzle of their 10-year business plan was to offer food to visitors, and the menu has become a huge hit within the community.
We're really just striving for, simple working man's food, large portions of a good product, lots of bold flavors, but simple and easy for people to relate to, connect to, comfortable foods.
Well, I haven't had anything bad here. The first thing I got was they have a blue cheese grilled cheese sandwich. That was really good, and today I had the wings, and the wings are incredible. It was a special.
Thanks to the bill that was recently passed by the Vermont legislature, Lost Nation will soon be able to ship bottles to fans anywhere in the country as part of their online bottle share program.
The bottle share program entails every 3 to 4 months we'll be releasing a one-time or limited release batch of beer that we do to be bottled, and you'll receive 2 of each of the releases that we do.
It gives us the control to take a big risk on a beer and put it out there to people that we have sort of a target group, that they're already signed up and they're already prepared to take the risk. You know, Goza, the first time people tried Goza,
at first description of the beer, it's a hurdle. The first description of the beer, they'll say, "Ooh, I'm not sure." Then they taste it, and it's like, I mean, I can't tell you how many epiphanies I've seen at this bar, where people taste that beer and they're just like, "Oh my goodness, this is the most amazing thing I've ever had."
We decided to take a beer tour of the Northeast states, the New England states, and went around and planned a trip. And as we were coming up here, looking on social media and then local recommendations from the places we have been, people kept saying, "You guys should check out Lost Nation."
The brewery is easy to find, and like their motto, the hope is that more adventurous beer lovers will wander towards Lost Nation.
We who wander are not lost. It kind of fits us too if you know us personally.
We want everyone to feel comfortable here.
Yeah, you're gonna feel relaxed and welcomed, and you're gonna have a really good time.
The food is great, the atmosphere is great. You can get beer, you can get cider, you can get strawberry joy kombucha.
And you get to sit out underneath this awning. You got a nice outdoor kitchen right there. You can smell everything they're cooking. I mean, it's got everything. Great beer, great food, great smells, great atmosphere. Drink up.
So, Alan, Jamie, the beer that you brought for us to sample tonight is the Gosa, and I tried it, and I had some saltiness, some breadiness, but still very light and refreshing. It was a very interesting experience for me, coming from a very much like just an IPA background. And so, tell us where you guys got the inspiration for that beer and what sort of guided you into what it is now, like where you landed on it.
It's a traditional German style beer. It's a German wheat beer. Like you said, brewed with sea salt and coriander. It comes from an area, Leipzig in Germany. Traditionally, the water had a lot of zinc content in it, so it came off minerally. The style was all but lost. It was brought back about 30 years ago, and to replicate it, they added sea salt. So this was a traditional style that we just brewed.
All right. You have anything to add, Alan?
I think the first time we tasted Goza was a really interesting experience, and it was one of those things, like I had said in the video, where the first time even we tasted it, we were like, "Oh my God, where's this thing been? Or where's this been? And what an amazing style of beer!" So to come out with it and have it in a year-round rotation where we brew it all year long, we think it's a beer that can be consumed all the time, and it's just a wonderful, crisp, refreshing, delicious product. So we're really, really, really excited with our Goza.
So JP, you've been at the Trapp Lager Brewery for 2 years, and one of our producers, Keith Swan, actually took a trip up to the Van Trapp Family Lodge to see this new flavor that they brought from Austria.
Our motto says a little of Austria, a lot of Vermont. So the beer certainly fits into that very well. I missed the kind of beer I could find in a little village in Austria where you stop in the local tavern for lunch and you have a beer with your whatever, and you feel fine afterwards. You don't have to go to sleep. Beer is a cultural thing in Austria. It's actually not thought of as alcohol. It's thought of as food.
We are an Austrian-style brewery, Bavarian style. We are all German malt hops. We have a great artisanal spring water that we use here, and we use our Bavarian lager yeast as well. So we like to follow the German purity laws, and we make lagers only. So we stay away from the ales.
It's easier to make an ale. You don't have to keep it as cool. You can make it much more quickly, and it's easier to make a mistake and sort of cover it up in an ale. The toughest of our beers to make, and JP can tell you, is our Helles. Our Helles is tough. That's our golden lager, and it's got that crisp, clean finish. But if you make any mistake, it's very difficult to cover that up.
People want a very light style beer. It's not over the top with hops. It's got bready notes from the Pilsner malt. It's very sessionable. That's a word a lot of people use. You can drink, when I say sessionable, you can have 4 of them, mow your lawn, and still keep those lines straight. It's a light lager. It's our only lager we filter. the traditional Helles, the German style lager, which is the bitter on the back, and then the Vienna, which is the sweet style lager, which is caramel-y.
To lager something in Germany means you store something. So, and this adds 4 weeks to it. This is why it's also more, it takes a little longer to make a lager than do an IPA, because IPA you can do in like 2 weeks and the lager takes 6 weeks.
It's part of the Austrian culture that I inherited, and so to me it seems a very normal part of what we're doing here.
We're kind of swimming against the stream, you know, against the current right now. Everybody does the big hoppy, big crazy Simcoe Citra hops. It's cold fermented. It takes longer. You know, we hurry up and lager. I think the one thing is we just make beer, and I think people take beer so serious these days. And you know, beer's like music. It's an opinion. We only make beer. We're not saving lives.
With songs they have sung for 1,000 years.
What an ending! What an ending! Just out of education alone, I'd love to hear about the German purity laws.
Yeah. Hey, hey man, it's malt, hops, yeast, and water. It's pretty simple. So keep it simple. No flavors, no additives, no crazy fruit, no corn, no rice. Just beer.
And I said sort of a new flavor, but it's really an old flavor, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, you know, we make lagers. These guys make lagers. Dusty makes lagers. Mike makes lagers. Not many people make good ones, but we all make good ones, so.
Good. Does anyone have any questions from the audience yet? All right, great. We have a taker.
My name is Brian Japp. I'm from Colchester. One of the mechanisms I use as a home brewer to economize my brew days and my ingredients is the party guile method, where you rebrew with the same grains. I was curious if you guys did on any of the commercial beers you do, and what ramifications it has on recipes.
We feed all of our grain to our cows and to our pigs, so we try to keep some of the moisture level up on it. So
yeah, I think for all of us, both companies, we produce lower alcohol beers, so that traditionally seemed to work well. You know, for you brewing a large beer and then you brew a small beer afterwards. You know, so at that 5.5% range, there's we're trying to extract all the sugars out of the grain that are worthy of fermentation. Right. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
We have another question from the audience. Right.
Hi, I'm Jason Stuffel, and I'm the president of the local homebrew club, the Green Mountain Mashers. And several of our members have gone pro with like 4 Quarters and Queen City Brewing. I was wondering any advice you had for someone who's thinking about going pro, and what sort of inspiration you guys draw from homebrewing community in general.
go to another state, maybe. There's a lot of breweries here right now. We were joking before, it's a wave, and we're all in the greenhouse right now, and that means the wave's crashing and it's over top of you. I mean, there are a lot of good people. I mean, we're good friends. We're good. We have a lot of friends in the community, so come one, come all. There's good people. There's good resources right at your fingertips. So.
Yeah, a big realization with beer is that it's very much a business. It doesn't matter, what you're producing at the end of the day if you can run a successful business. So, we work very hard in coupling our love for beer with trying to still run a business and do the day-to-day. And I think that's a very difficult crossover / parallel with doing it for fun in the garage for a weekend, which is awesome, and everybody should do it, versus like actually quitting your day job and doing it, which is a big difference.
If you're gonna do it, write a business plan.
Yeah.
Gotta write a business plan.
And then take it to a bank.
Yeah.
And then see what they say.
And then double the money that you had. Like, you thought you needed. Yeah.
Great. So I was going to ask you too about this sort of movement that you are kind of spearheading, and it's called the Bottle Share. And on the surface, to me, it seems like something that's very revolutionary and something that can help out craft brewers around the country.
This idea came actually as Sean Lawson and the Vermont Brewers Association was working with the state legislature to try to allow Vermont brewers to direct ship their bottles of beer to folks in other states. And it passed about 2 years ago. No one has taken advantage of it yet because there are a lot of levels involved in it. So we are working on navigating through that, and hopefully, just like everything in the Vermont Brewers community, we're trying to research all the avenues and all the facets of it, and
There's a lot of logistics involved in where you can actually ship to, what states you can ship to, which ones you can't. So we're still trying to navigate through a lot of that.
And this is low volume, like a 6-pack at a time to people that...
There's a gallonage limit per state,
right,
from what we're understanding.
For our program that we want to do, the bottle share, is we're doing one-offs, 20-barrel batches, and then we're having a sign-up for 500 or about 400 people, and you get 2 bottles of each release, and that's what we're doing.
So that's how you're starting it.
That's how we're going to start it.
Great.
Yep. And hopefully from what we learn through it and working through, we can share it with everybody else, and people will start shipping beer back and forth, and
All right. So JP, what started as sort of a extra flavor at the Von Trapp Lodge is now seems to be growing into something bigger. Your facilities are expanding.
Yeah, they sure are. Yeah, it's we're expanding our brewery as many other breweries are. There's not many domestic lagers that aren't made with rice and corn. So it'll be pretty rad there. So you can get a couple 12-packs and do what you do with 12-packs, and we'll also have 22-ounce bottles, and which is going to be, obviously it's a German brew house. In all seriousness, we have not the best Canadian brew house right now, and we have a German brew house, so it's going to be a little bit more not automated, but more precise, because German is very precise.
Yes.
How big is the brewery going to be?
It's going to be a 50,000-barrel brewery, so.
And it's going to have a real German beer house. Is going to be part of the.
They will. Obviously, it will be very traditional with what the Trapp and what they do, and what their vision is. So.
Excellent. We have another question.
Sure. Scott Moody from Burlington. Quick question for Jamie and Alan. Your Goza is just such a great beer, and it's all over the place. Besides the bottle share, is there any chance of getting some of that locally? 4-packs, 6-packs, because it's just such a well-received beer. It's around everywhere, at least on tap.
Well, right now we have a single spout filler. We're filling 750s, corked and caged. It's taken us a day to do 40 cases. If you come to the brewery, you're gonna get it at the brewery, but as for now, we don't have any plans on getting it out any further than that. It's just what we can produce right now.
But we are taking the Goza and we're putting it in a 750 milliliter champagne style bottle. We're bottle conditioning that, so we're offering that through the brewery, and then a little bit as we can, as Jamie said, 40 cases per day, per 10-hour day. So it's quite a labor-intensive day of love to get those bottles produced.
Which sort of leads to my next question would be, because of the popularity of that beer, certainly locally, would it be the sort of thing that would make you guys think maybe we need to ramp up to a larger brewing system, considering and a lot of your beers are great, but that one being sort of your
the system is sized well. We built a brewery to grow into, so we certainly have the size to continue to expand. It's physically putting that product into a bottle that is, for lack of better words, the bottleneck. That's what creates the difficulty right now, is doing one bottle at a time. We're trying to keep everything going.
Yeah, I mean, when you start,
the whole canning thing, the whole thing, canning's becoming a big
right. Well, when you start your own business and you start your own brewery, there's a lot of opportunity that comes your way. You can do a million different things. Right now, we're focused on making beer, getting beer out, making quality beer, and then we will, as we grow, we'll fit those things in when they come, when they fit. But right now, we're doing what you can do.
Do you know someone who's selling a packaging machine they can buy?
Right. But what a great problem to have. And,
Right.
Congratulations to all you guys, because it's a great time to be in Vermont with all the great beers that folks like you are producing, and what a wonderful problem to have that you have more demand than what you can handle. So bravo.
Here, here.
Cheers.
Thank you. Yeah, cheers.
Well, Alan and Jamie, thanks for coming from Lost Nation.
Thank you.
And
Thanks for having us.
thanks for bringing your beer. And JP, thanks for bringing your wares too. Well, thanks
Sweet.
everybody.
Thank you
Thank
guys.
you guys.
Thanks for coming.
Enjoy the rest of the.